stories.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I've actually had people that are like, why do you want to know if we've met the Black Eyed Peas?
I spotted Fergie.
Yeah, exactly. They can actually reach me at dave@darknessradio.com.
Right.
And that's the website. You can email me if you had an experience or a story. And it was great, when we were telling those stories on the air about the black-eyed kids and these creepy little kids that show up. You impact people, and you know that it really gets into the head of the listeners. We got a call from a couple of Minneapolis area police officers, and they go, I got to tell you something. They go, what? And he goes, so we're sitting in the car. We listen to your show a lot.
Right.
When we're sitting in the car, I'm like, yeah. And he goes, and about 11:45, because our show's on from 11 to midnight. Because about 11:45, we get a call over the radio. And this is during your black-eyed kid story. I'm like, okay. And he goes, the call is that there's a complaint. There are 3 children standing in the front yard of somebody's house, and they don't know who these kids are.
Oh.
Can somebody please report? He goes, my partner and I looked at each other and said, oh, F no. And I get calls from pizza guys. They're like, dude, I'm listening to your show. I'm driving down this dark street to deliver a pizza, and I'm thinking, screw the tip. I'm going to roll down the window and throw the pizza and drive away. So I love when that happens. But, yeah, the black-eyed kids phenomenon is really crazy.
Dave Schrader in with the K102 Wake Up Crew. It's Paranormal Challenge, the new show that's on Travel Channel, and it debuts tonight at 8 o'clock. We couldn't be more excited for Dave. We've known you for a long time now, and so we know you're passionate about the paranormal, and it's amazing to me. How can you explain it? Something that people so quickly want to say doesn't exist, but yet they're so intrigued by it.
Well, everybody wants to know what comes next. Even the hardcore skeptics, I've talked to them, and they're like, Dave, I would love to believe that this is it. I just know enough about psychology and about the way the human mind works and how we play tricks on ourselves. And I said, well, that's fine, but then how do you explain, these voices that are picked up by recording units? And, they don't have answers for everything, the skeptics. But, we always say a skeptic is just a believer who hasn't had an experience yet, right?
Right.
And you take them in. That's what I love. We do these live events all around the United States. And we take listeners and fans of these different paranormal shows to go ghost hunt with us. And, wow, that sounded very Minnesotan. We go ghost hunt?
We go ghost hunting.
Yeah, we're going to make a little hot dish.
We go to a
ghost hunt.
haunted barn.
I swear my Lund boat is haunted.
But we'll go out there, and I love this because the wives are really into it. And the husbands begrudgingly come along, right? Because you know that they've made the trade. This means next year I get to go to Vegas with the guys, right?
Yeah.
And the guys come and they're like, well, whatever, and they're the ones that have the experience. And it's beautiful because the wives are like, I paid for both of us to come to this. You come out, and you get the experience, I get nothing. It's totally unfair. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's the fun of it. But then when you watch that switch flip, and then we've had a lot of those guys come back without their wives next time because the wives are totally irritated that they didn't have that happen, but the guys want more with the paranormal, and they start getting into it. So yeah, skeptic is just somebody who hasn't had that experience yet, but it's amazing how many people come out of the woodwork now. About 10, 15 years ago, you start talking about ghosts, and it was a fringe element. Now you go up to the water cooler. Did you watch Ghost Hunters? Did you watch Paranormal Challenge? Did you watch, all these shows, and they talk about it, and it's just so part of our nature, and everybody, wherever I'm at, has some story. As a matter of fact, when I'm on planes, I usually wear my sunglasses and I'll turn my face away to the mirror or to the window, not because I'm recognizable. I'm on the radio, so nobody can see the face, right?
Well, up until the TV show tonight, yeah.
But people, they want to, hey, what do you do for a living? And then I'm always like, I'm a radio show. Oh, good. Are you doing a morning show? No, I do a late night show. Oh, yeah? Is it political? No. What do you talk about? Ghosts and UFOs.
And then you open the window and you're having a conversation.
When I was 5 years old, and then I got to hear all these stories, which I love doing, but sometimes it's just I want to get down in the shutdown mode. But it's amazing how every race, religion, version of sexuality has a story to share with me about the paranormal. So it's really kind of cool to get out there. That's why, I've been approached to be on a lot of different shows throughout the years. And I'm always cautious because, we have a good brand with Darkness Radio, and people unbelievably respect me and my opinions on a lot of things. So I'm very cautious. I don't want to be the investigator on there having people pick us apart. So instead I decided to be the judge on a show where I can pick them apart. But I like it because I think it's bringing some legitimacy to the field. Unfortunately, there's all these paranormal teams that have popped up all over the United States, and the only experience they really have is that they've watched every episode of Paranormal State, Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, Most Haunted, and they think that's the way to ghost hunt. So we're putting them to the test, and we're, we pick them apart throughout the show, and we tell them what they're doing wrong and what they're doing right. And tonight you'll see some really amazing evidence, and you'll see some really stupid investigative techniques, and we call them out on both. We let them know what's going on. But that's what I really enjoy. And then we have 2 guest judges that'll be sitting alongside me as we investigate throughout the night. We watch them and kind of critique how they're doing everything.
Now, are these people who have bought their own equipment, they're ready to make
No,
this
we-
a career, or?
Well, a lot of the teams are, yeah. They
Okay.
bought their own. Not really a career. It's more of a hobbyist field because there's nobody that pays you for the ghost hunting field
But doesn't everybody somehow hope that they'll be
on a TV show.
I mean, or they'll have their own radio show and they'll be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that does happen, but you know, a lot of the teams are just in it for the thrill of finding proof of the paranormal. So you know, that's why I love doing it, because I love watching people have that experience and being a part of the investigation and watching that. And that's why I like doing this show, because it's something different and it's going to give a different perspective to the field and hopefully a little bit more legitimacy, because we're calling people out for the dumb stuff they do on quote unquote, you know, investigations. And there are some really good techniques people have brought to us that I'd never seen before. And some of these teams work like Army military units. They'll be back to back, so their cameras are filming in every direction, and they rotate as they're going down the hall. They're really amazing, some of the teams and the different ways they investigate. So you get to watch some really great moments, and then you get to watch some not so great moments when teams do really dumb stuff.
Paranormal Challenge. It's on tonight on the Travel Channel, 8 o'clock. Darkness Dave is with us, Dave Schrader. What is the scariest moment? What is the moment that, with everything that you've done, all your knowledge of this, all your experience in it, what is the one moment, location and the moment, that really freaked you out?
Walking in on my parents doing the nasty.
Yep, there it is, every
Terrifying.
time.
Most terrifying moment in my life.
You'll haunt your dreams forever.
You know, the thing is, when I go to these locations, everybody always asks, aren't you afraid? I go, no, I'm going there seeking these things.
Right, which is
So
weird.
it doesn't freak me out, you know? I mean, if I'm sitting in my Easy Boy at home watching the Vikings, right, and in walks a headless corpse, then maybe
Yeah.
I'm freaked out.
Right.
But when I go into these locations looking for activity, that's awesome. You know, the most amazing moment I ever had was at Waverly Hills Sanitarium in Louisville, Kentucky.
Right.
I'm walking down the dark hall with the owner. It's pitch black, and she goes, "Turn off your flashlight, Schrader. We're going to see shadow people." I go, "Okay, Tina." And she's a sweet lady. She's about the size of that little lady from Poltergeist, right? She's
Right.
about 3'7",
With the tennis
you know?
ball, yeah.
And she goes, "Look down there. Look." So I stop, and I literally kind of crouch to get at her eye level.
Right.
And sure enough, out of a door frame, it looks like this person, like a Head and Shoulders, is leaning in and out of the door frame, looking at us. But you know, I'm rational. I can hear the wind outside. It's a night of a full moon, and there's trees. So I think, you know, we're just seeing the shadow of one of the tree branches bobbing up and down. So I'm feeling pretty superior in the fact that I've just debunked this thing, as I'm laughing, you know, in my head at this poor woman who believes this is a shadow person. And as I turn to start walking back down the hall, just as clear as you are in front of me is a pure black shadow person who walks right into me.
Oh.
And if we would have been solid, we'd have collided shoulders. And that was a holy beep minute for me.
Right.
And I turned around, I'm like, "Tina!" And she turned around and she could see this thing walking down the hall, and all of a sudden it just kind of, the black just kind of filled the entire hall and then was gone.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool moment for me. That was one of those moments when you know, wow, that was an impactful moment for me for investigating, and that's what keeps me going in the field.
Dave, you almost make me want to flash back to walking in on my parents.
Yeah,
The
clear
stories
your
that
mind of
John-
that.
Yeah, I know. I just, wow.
Hey, can I mention tonight too?
Oh, yes.
When the show kicks off at 8 o'clock at Travel Channel, if you can't come on out and visit with us, watch it at home, set your DVR, 8 o'clock, Paranormal Challenge, Travel Channel. Otherwise, we're doing a viewing party with the Darkness Radio crew. Mally, Tim, and myself will be at the Park Tavern in St. Louis Park tonight. We'll get there at about 7 so we can hang out and talk. I'm going to be giving away books and fun stuff. I also have an autograph item from one of the film shoots that we did of the entire cast of Paranormal Challenge.
Oh, cool.
We'll give away at the end of the night. But we're going to be there from 7 till about 10. 8 o'clock is when the show airs. We're going to watch it all together. It's a viewing party. It's free to come in. Come on in, have some fun with us, and come out and enjoy it. It's at the Park Tavern in St. Louis Park tonight, starting at 7, going till about 10 at the Park Tavern.